We're still
74.
74,
Yeah.
73.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday, February 22nd special meeting of the Lebanon Redevelopment Commission. We're going to begin this evening with a pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And with that, we will call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, if you could please note that we do have 100% attendance. Dr. Milliman is joining us via virtual call, so he can hear us in the background, and we can see him on the screen there. This evening, we will have a fairly short agenda. I'm going to welcome Mr. Derek Warren up to the podium here to talk about the land proposal that we have before us tonight.
Thank you, Corey. Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for making some time this evening to get this wrapped up. So this has been several months, many months actually in the working by the time we started on the negotiation phase of acquiring the parking lot space that is north of the Montgomery Ward building that we all talked about when we decided to purchase 125 South Meridian Street. So tonight is kind of the finale of all the approvals and resolutions that we need to get to a point to where we can actually sign a purchase agreement and schedule the closing. Just to give you a quick review on what the deal entails tonight is for the parking lot north of 125 South Meridian Street, so that we control, the RDC controls the entire quarter block. We have agreed to $75,000 in cash, plus exchange of the parking lot located at 113 East Main Street, and resurfacing of the lot at 113 East Main Street for $12,300. Obviously, the lot can't be resurfaced at this time, so the I think preferred method to make that happen is to put that $12,300 into an escrow account at closing, and when the contractor has the ability to resurface that lot and the job is done, he can collect from that escrow account. So it's not held by us, and it's not held by the owner as well. So it ensures that lot does get repaved and resurfaced. We've back and forth today with our realtor and the title company and trying to determine what closing costs were going to be in this case. And it's a very unique, not a very unique deal, but it's a more complex deal than a typical real estate transaction. So I have the numbers with some contingencies built in for the closing, and that number is $5,750, and that's well on the high side of being cautious. With that, I think Rob has some resolutions, and a purchase agreement has been put together by the Redevelopment team. I would ask that in that purchase agreement, so we can streamline the closing and signatures, that we authorize the mayor to sign on behalf of the RDC, same as we did for the 125 South Meridian Street closing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Derek. And with that, Attorney Shine, if you'd like to read us into the record with the resolution, please.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President, Commissioners. Again, Resolution 2021-02 is a resolution approving the exchange of real property. As previously addressed, this commission is the owner of the real property located at 113 East Main Street, and that's set forth in Exhibit A. The commission has proposed exchanging this property for the real property owned by RT Investments Group, LLC. That's set forth here as the RT investment property, and that's set also in this resolution. And again, the commission has determined the RT property is more useful to the commission in order to fulfill the commission's long-term redevelopment plans for the city. Consistent with Indiana Code, the commission is given certain discretion in disposing property that is donated or transferred to the commission. And again, this commission property was donated to the commission by the city. On February 8th, 2021, the Common Council of the city approved the proposed exchange. Again, the appraisals were secured for the commission property, and with an average value that was placed on this property at $50,000. And the commission is permitted to acquire any property noted for redevelopment of areas needing redevelopment that are located within the boundaries of the city. This commission has determined the acquisition of the RT property will further the commission's redevelopment of the 2017 expansion area. Appraisals were secured for the RT property with an average value of $75,000. The commission has determined that it is necessary to exceed the appraised value for the RT property by $50,000 due to the potential greater economic development opportunities available to the commission. Therefore, be it resolved that these recitals are incorporated in this resolution. This commission approves the exchange pursuant to Indiana Code. The value of the commission property shall not be less than $50,000. The commission hereby determines in accordance with Indiana Code that the purchase price for the RT property shall be $125,000 plus the cost to resurface the asphalt parking lot as related by Mr. Warren. The purchase price for the RT property shall be composed of, again, $50,000 of the appraised value of the commission property, $75,000 in cash, and the cost to resurface the asphalt parking lot. The commission is hereby authorized to enter into the land exchange agreement that was set forth in Exhibit B, and the president of the commission is authorized to execute any and all agreements and other documents to be executed and delivered by the commission, and to take all other lawful acts. And again, as I think Mr. Warren also asked, is if we could do a subsequent, if this is approved, motion to allow the mayor to execute any and all documents following this resolution. So, and this resolution shall be in full force and effect immediately upon its adoption.
Very good. Thank you so much, Attorney Shine. With that, I will begin the public hearing. So this is official opening of the public hearing in regards to the exchange of property located at 115 South Meridian Street. With no sudden movements and only a wave from the crowd, I will then close the public hearing on the property located at 115 South Meridian Street. Commissioners, any questions, comments?
Question, I know this was, but should you comment this was duly advertised in the paper as a public hearing tonight? I know it was, I read it.
Yes, yeah, for the record, the public notice was sent and it was advertised in order to open and have the public hearing that just was closed.
Being there wasn't anybody here, I thought
Yes.
people ought to know that in case somebody asks, it was advertised.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Any other questions, comments about this resolution? All right. So with that, I would entertain a
Can I ask
motion.
a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end there, when we talked about the mayor signing it, but before he signs it, do we have to get an approval for whatever it's being done first? Grading it, or if it's going to be different than the parking lot?
Could you repeat the question just so I make sure I understand it correctly?
I'm just wondering if it goes, and I don't have any objection to the mayor signing it, but does he have the right to sign it before it comes back to us, or do we have to approve that before he signs it?
Well, I think this resolution, number 2, authorized first and foremost the exchange, right? So,
Right.
and then what Mr. Warren, it would also authorizes the president of the commission to execute any and all documents, and Mr. Warren has asked if we could also approve the mayor, if necessary, to execute any, closing. It's really mainly the land exchange agreement will be, and I would just say if the deal changes at all from what has been before this commission, then we would need to come back before the commission.
Okay, that's just what I wanted to make
So we're
sure.
authorizing, giving authorization for the mayor to sign instead of, in lieu of Corey,
I
correct?
would say, yeah, the mayor or the president. either
Correct,
one.
okay. Want to make sure everybody knows.
All right. So with that, I would entertain a motion on Resolution 2021-02, approving the exchange of 115 South Meridian Street property. And as we've been speaking about here, if we could authorize either the president, myself, or the mayor, Mayor Gentry, to sign closing documents, any documents related to this transaction.
Want that as a separate resolution, Mr. President?
We can do it in a single motion.
Yeah, I think we could do it in a single.
Single motion.
Good, thank you.
Well, I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2021-02 and authorize Mayor Gentry to, authorize him to go ahead and sign all documents pertaining to the transfer property.
All righty. So we have a motion.
I'll second the motion as presented.
We have a second from Dr. Taylor. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Milliman? Aye. We gave an aye in favor, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure we reflected it properly on the record. All
I'll make sure
right.
I raise my hand at the right moment there.
Good deal. Well, thank you very much. I believe that concludes then the items on new business. Derek, do you have additional comment?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that on top of the cash, the parking lot, and the resurfacing, we talk about the $5,750 needed for closing.
Okay, so essentially here, Derek and I were talking a little bit about this closing. Potentially, we would have to do two separate closings because of the swap in land. So the number that he mentioned, 5,750, would basically be a worst-case scenario if they're not able to complete that in a single
Both of them
swap.
together.
That would be the total worst-case scenario.
That's a not-to-exceed number.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. So.
That's a disaster. We feel like it will be certainly a whole lot less than that, but just so that we can complete the transaction in an efficient amount of time, I would like to try to avoid having to come back in a March meeting and asking for another $500 or something like that.
Right, right. So with that, just a motion to,
Do another motion.
yeah, motion to
Yeah.
approve not to exceed.
Yep.
We don't have to note any buckets or anything, right?
No.
Okay.
1,000, how much?
5,750
For closing.
for closing for the 115 South Meridian property.
I make a motion that we authorize the expenditure of not to exceed $5,750 to support the closing for the property listed in Resolution 2021-02.
Perfect. We have a motion
Second?
and a second from the entire end.
Got it, thank you.
Dr. Milliman, were you able to hear all of that?
Yes, I was.
Perfect. All right. So that being said, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Derek. So with that being said, I think we have the property all buttoned up. We also have the closing costs taken care of.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
We have a motion to adjourn on the table.
Just very quickly, let the public record reflect the commission's appreciation to Derek for his work on coordinating and organizing this. I think it's a great step forward. And so as a commission, we appreciate your time and effort, Derek. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Derek.
Thank you very much. So I do still have the motion to adjourn on the table. I will second that.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Perfect. Thank you guys very much. We will see you at the March 8th regular RDC
I
meeting.
knew there was something I was trying to think of
Yes. Thanks
when I
for
first
being
called.